Marilyn Manson's first album is musically distinct from a lot of his other work, except for maybe Smells Like Children. They had a lot more of a hard rock, alternative sort of sound than the more hardcore industrial metal sound that they adopted, especially during and after Antichrist Superstar. I think this is largely due to the guitar work of Daisy Berkowitz, who left sometime in the middle of Antichrist. During this time, their sound was also very distinct from anybody else, at least anybody else that I had ever heard of. Some folks aren't as keen on this album as they are on Manson's later stuff, but I find that this album has some of Manson's catchiest songs. Cake and Sodomy, Lunchbox, Get Your Gun, and Dope Hat all have really great hooks. Also, Misery Machine, a song that's not usually all that well remembered, is a great piece of songwriting. Back when Marilyn Manson was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, their whole aesthetic seemed based around this sort of back of the carnival kind of style. They were all about finding the creepiness in kids shows and in ostensibly wholesome family life. This album still has a lot of that, and you can see it in the videos for Dope Hat and Lunchbox. The videos that were made for this album are all pretty great, especially Dope Hat. That video and the lyrics to some of the songs give me the impression that Manson didn't take himself quite as seriously back then. The song My Monkey seems overtly cheeky, both because it's funny and because it was originally written by Charles Manson. I think the stuff they did back then was intentionally designed to get under the skin of the family values types. And they took a lot of the stuff in Manson's songs a lot more seriously than Manson or his fans did. And it's too bad you don't see bands trying to get a rise out of people like Manson always used to do. Maybe everybody is just too jaded to all of that kind of thing now, but I wish there were people who are at least trying to piss off the squares like they used to back in the day. Along with trying to get a rise out of people, a lot of the bands in the 90s seem to have something philosophical to say. And you don't see that anymore. Manson was trying to make a point in a lot of the songs in this album, especially Wrapped in Plastic and Get Your Gun. Sure, Manson's philosophy was never particularly profound, but at least it was there. And when I listen to this album now, it has sort of this underground feel that you don't seem to get with new music nowadays. Maybe it's because music is a lot more accessible now, so it's easier to find the so-called underground stuff, which makes it not all that underground. But either way, it seemed like this was music that scared people, and I don't see any music nowadays that scares anybody. And I miss that.